That's what I gotta say about that.
No, and I agree with that 100%. I think there's a lot of people, but on Twitter, everything else, we're still ready to go. We're still running right and smooth. So thank you, though, once again.
Oh yeah, my sophomore year, that was that was a really good year. That was when I took a big jump. That was when I first got my Division One offer from EKU, um, and that was a big year for my. He knows a ton of basketball. And my sophomore year, showed me a lot of things. And that was very important to me. I think every year that I was at Bowling Green, we were considered a 5 to top 10 team in the state. We were that year too. Um, like I said, we should have won the region. That sophomore year, that game still eats at me. But it is what it is.
I want to talk about two teammates you've had. They just both recently. Elijah. Who went on Elijah Starks, who went on to sign with Danville Community. I'm pretty sure. But then a guy like
Mhm.
Vincent Ritter, who would go on and going to Columbia, man. Speak about being able to play with two big guys like that, man. Having them for most of your high school career, they deserve this attention and these contracts, and you know about them more than all of us, man.
Yeah, Mason, it's been incredible to watch his journey because freshman year, he came in, didn't want to really beat and bang, kind of soft, and I told him that,
Yeah.
but by his senior year, he was an absolute beast. You couldn't really do anything to stop him. And his growth, and when he was a sophomore, I was a senior, and then he started starting then. And I can't thank him for the amount of screens he set for me and all that stuff. And he's a great kid. I think that's Mason's biggest thing is you're never going to catch him doing something stupid off the court or not having good grades or he really takes care of himself on and off the court, and he's a great person. And even after, that's one person I can guarantee you after the ball stops bouncing that he will be very, very successful in life.
Oh yeah.
And he'll have a great career. He just signed with Division One Columbia, which is an Ivy League, which he'll get a degree from there and get any job he wants in the country.
Oh yeah.
So, and Elijah Starks, he was a starter my senior year. He was a sophomore. We had a lot of sophomores. He fit into that group well. He was a kind of a hustle guy for us. Did the dirty work, stuff like that. So Elijah was a great piece for us my senior year as well. He took some big steps. So
I want to ask you this, man. So I don't mean to. Let's talk about junior year a little bit. That was the year that you guys made the Elite Eight state push. You had an amazing season. That team was a really good team, man. Look on that
oh
team.
yeah. So that season, that was probably that was definitely my favorite season. I won a Mr. Basketball award my senior year, but there's always something about junior year that I really love, and I just think it was by the time we had got there, when I came in my freshman year, the group of sophomores was really good. So then we had me as a sophomore and all the juniors. Then we had me as a junior and all the seniors. So they didn't want to go out there last year, losing in the district, losing in the region. So we didn't lose a single game in the district, single game in the region all year long. Um, you know, I think we lost 3 games that year. 2 of them were to Ballard, one of them to E Town. So we lost to Ballard in the Elite Eight. That was our second time losing to them. But just winning a region championship, man, is awesome. We knew we were going to win it all year long, but having to continue to come in and work and ensure that we win it was something that I really admired about my team that year. Um, so and then when we went to Rupp, I was fortunate enough to hit like a 70-foot shot and get on Sports Center as the number one play. So that was really memorable. So yeah, oh yeah, that year was awesome, man. We had Isaiah Mason on that team who went to Northern Kentucky. Jordan Dingle, who is a big time tight end at Kentucky. And honestly, we were missing one of our best role players, defenders that year in Des Wilson. He could have played football anywhere, but really messed up his knee. So, but yeah, man, junior year was a great year. It was very fun. I believe that we should have won it all. Probably do all There's a lot more teams that think that, but I think that we're a top three most talented team in the state. Um, some shots just didn't fall, some whistles didn't go our way in the Elite Eight that year, and we fell short. But I'll forever love the class of 2021 at Bowling Green High School. That was who I was really close with, and they mean a lot to me. So
That was a great team. Great memories. That's great to hear. I want to ask you this, man. So we kind of talked about this, pre-show stuff like that. I've had people talk about it, but let's talk about rivalries. The city of Bowling Green has multiple high schools. Who try to compete. They've had great players, they've had great teams, but Bowling Green is usually stayed at the top of that. They usually win the games against those big time schools, win the rivalries. So talk about how the rivalries were for you in high school. And, the environment. Going into those games. A lot of people won't admit it, but a lot of people treat rivalry games different than every other normal game. So, speak on the rivalries you had to go through at Bowling Green.
yeah, when I first got to Bowling Green, my coach Club, I don't think that he'll mind me saying this. He was like, I can't stand every other school in this school district. And I was like, wow, man, these people seem nice around here. And by about midway through my freshman year, I was on the same exact page as him. I couldn't stand anybody that everybody hates the purple and gold. Everybody in that city, everybody does. We're the only school that's good at every sport. So everybody hates us. And every game you're going into, you're going to be everybody's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Warren Central can go to South Warren and the game won't be that packed. We go to South Warren, it's gonna be packed. South Warren can go to Greenwood, it won't be that packed. We go to Greenwood, it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see Bowling Green lose, and it doesn't matter what it's in, softball, ping pong, like anything. They want to see Bowling Green lose.
Oh yeah.
And just knowing that, I loved it. I loved being the one of the best players on a team every year that everybody hated. I fed off that. I played better when stuff like that was going on. So, and there was a lot of rivalries. Some people might not like me because I let them know how things were on the court, and that's fine. But it's something that you go through, and my senior year, there was some drama and stuff, but that's all right. Some people they get sore when they lose, and that's something that you got to deal with. But you know, that's just been great for me, man. Just playing against my rivals. It's been great. So.
Dude, I mean, I agree with you. One thing I respect so much about you, Turner, is that a lot of guys wouldn't go into depth about that. A lot of guys wouldn't talk about that. But one thing you will do is you will talk about those things, talk about those games, actually give a brutally honest opinion. I want to ask you this. I have a family, the Carrier family from Bowling Green. They're tuning in here today. Jonathan, Darrell, they wanted me to tell you what's up. Next time you're in Bowling Green, stop by the Carrier Dome. They wanted me to say hello. And then Cassius Clay, came through in the comments and said, ask him about his record versus Central. So there's multiple people in here, talking, asking about, ask some questions, a lot of support. So thank you guys for coming in here today and talking to us. But I want to ask you this, Turner. So we spoke on those rivalries, speaking about that, and it's unfortunate because Bowling Green will always kind of be hated. Will kind of be put on people's boards. They want to beat them, things like that. It sucks, but that's just how it is, and you embrace that.
Yeah.
Who was your best competition you got to play against? Out of those Bowling Green schools, some of the best players at Central, some of the best players at Greenwood South. Who were some guys that you knew would give good competition and had games?
Oh yeah, two of my best friends to this day, Cade Stennett at Greenwood and Jaden Lawrence at Warren Central. Cade has had a phenomenal career at center. Just went to WKU to finish out his playing career. And then Jaden Lawrence, he went JUCO and he has worked so hard to get to where he is, and he just signed D1 with Southeastern Louisiana, and he's there and he's loving it. So getting to play against those two guys were awesome. I got to play against. I don't even know how many times I played against them. Central. I don't know, played 13 times, probably 14, 15. I don't know. Greenwood, I probably played or 10 or 12 something. So I played against those guys a lot, and those are two of the best guys around that were in my class. So it was good competition. We us three played AAU together in the summers, so we were rivals in the winter time, and then when summer rolled around, we were teammates. Trying to put on for our state. So it was awesome to play against those guys.
When you kind of started to talk about, that sophomore year was a big boost, and then that junior year was, your favorite year. You really got to get your name out there, let everyone know about it a little bit. I want to talk to you about the recruiting process, man. There's a lot of people today going through it right now with D1 schools reaching out. Eastern's a team for some guys, but speak on your recruiting process a little bit, man. Some of the teams that showed interest, offers, and what ultimately made you pick Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah. So my 15U summer going into my sophomore year of high school, um, EKU had seen me play at an Adidas event in Birmingham, Alabama. We were playing the Atlanta Celtics, so they had seen me play there, and then they had came to some of my high school games. And my sophomore year, we had played our rivals, Warren Central, and I had a really good game. And so they were there for that one. And then shortly after that, I got my first Division I offer from them. Um, and right after my sophomore season ended, I started taking it very seriously because
Yeah,
that's when COVID hit and all that stuff. And I knew that what was going to happen, with my recruiting process, who was I going to be seen by, and A.W. Hamilton's style of play and shooting, and all that stuff was something that I really admired. So I committed to EKU before my junior year even started,
yeah,
before my junior basketball season even started. So I knew that's where I wanted to be. My 17U summer, that there were some schools, that had, contacted my AAU director or came to my dad at an AAU event, asking if I was fully locked in or going to decommit or whatever because they wanted me to. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be at EKU. I still do, and it's been great for me. My recruiting process was different. Not everybody commits before their junior season started, but I had an opportunity to, and that's what I did. So.
what would you tell to the kids out there that are in that recruiting process right now? Maybe going into their junior year, senior year. What's some pieces of advice you would give those guys? Because that's a lifetime decision, man.
Yeah, I think in the world today, there's a lot of people who out there are saying they D1 or bust, man. Like I want to go D1. I don't want to listen to these other schools.
Oh yeah,
Well, a lot of D2 schools offer full rides. At the end of the day, it's about getting your education paid for.
yeah,
I'm lucky enough to have received a D1 scholarship and get my education paid for, but everybody's route looks different. For example, we just talked about Jaden Lawrence. He went to a junior college for 2 years, and because they paid for all the schooling, they paid for everything, and now he's at a D1. So everybody's route looks different. I would say don't ever stop working. You never know what can happen. But don't have the mindset of just D1 or bust because a lot of college programs aren't making high school kids a focus anymore.
yeah.
So sometimes it's going to be hard for you to get recruited by Division I schools, but don't just think I want to go D1 or it's nothing. No, you need to listen to all coaches that want you because it's a blessing to play at any level of college basketball.
Oh yeah, and I mean, man, we see it every day now. Like a guy like Derek White started his career in JUCO. There's so many
Yeah.
good guys in JUCO, D1, D2, D2, D3, JUCO, who end up playing in the league. Man, end up playing at a D1 school eventually. So we talked about it early in the episode, but if you work hard, you put in those hours, you'll get where you want, man. We talked about it earlier about you playing with Jeff Shepard's AAU team. You got to become a really good. Well, you've always been a good friend. Let me say that with Reed Shepard. Talk on the relationship you and Reed have, man. You guys are two close friends. You guys are both killing it. Successful careers, man. Talk about the bond you guys have.
Well, a lot of people don't know Reed, but he's a jokester, man. He's always joking around. He's a great guy, though. You're not. That's another guy. Like I mentioned Mason Ritter earlier, but Reed is a great person. You'll never catch him out. He's always in the house. He's either at the gym or the house.
Yeah.
He's got a great family. Um, but Reed is an extremely hard worker. And he's the type of person that flows with confidence. He's never going to let you know that he has a lot of confidence. He's very humble, but he does. And he's a great person. And I'm fortunate enough to know the side of Reed that not a lot of people know, and that's the type of person that he was,
Yeah.
that he is. And he's a phenomenal person. And I'm one of his biggest fans. You'll catch me all the time, talking about and reposting this stuff. But at the end of the day, he's never treated me different as a lifelong friend, even when he's got all this fame and all this stuff. So I really respect that about him.
And I'll ask your opinion, man. It's all over Twitter. Is he the best rookie in this rookie class, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was the best rookie in the summer league, and I don't think it was close. The two guys drafted ahead of him weren't, you know, maybe they'll pan out to be better, but right now they're not close. So Reed had a phenomenal summer league, and he's had doubters his whole life saying that he couldn't do it and he wouldn't play. He wouldn't even play at UK. Well, so that's just something I admire about Reed. He's just continued to work, defied the odds, and he's got to where he is by no accident. He's got all this through hard work.
Oh yeah, and it's awesome to see two guys like you guys, grow up together, work hard together, both end up playing college, and both have had this extremely successful careers. Man, prove the doubters wrong. You both have had them. But let's take a step back and let's go to high school one more time. We talked about junior season, but we talked a lot off camera about the senior season. You guys weren't projected to be a great team. You guys were kind of a laughing stock to some people. Y'all fell down. It was one of the lowest Bowling Green's ever been ranked. But you guys shut up a lot of people. Speak about the senior year, man, and some of the stats and some of the records better than me. But talk about where you guys were like preseason ranked. Some of the big wins and how you guys competed with that team.
Oh, I mean, we were preseason number 7 in our region, and we were on no state rankings. We
Yeah.
were unranked. And that's not common at Bowling Green. Every year before that, we were preseason top 5. So that kind of put a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
I think some of the young guys started to see, that hate that Bowling Green gets, and they embraced it. But we had such a young team. We had me and a guy named Curtis Lynn that started when we were both seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest was sophomores. And then we had Deuce Bailey as a freshman and Trevi Barber as an 8th grader. We were very young, but those guys did not back down from anything, any challenge, nothing. I love that team. Those guys are dogs. And, we I think the biggest win that we had that year, one of my favorite wins was we went to Lyon County and won. They had a packed gym, and Travis Perry and the team that they had, it went down to the wire, and we ended up pulling it out. That was my first time playing against Travis when he was a sophomore and I was a senior. So I think that was a really big win for us. And then but my all-time favorite win is beating Greenwood out in that first game of the district. They had a lot of words for us, and they were supposed to have the best team ever in their school history. So, to beat them and let the young guys, some of them dressed the year before on that very successful team, but they never really played, and it's different when you play.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our taste of success that year. Went on to play in the region final against my guy Jaden Lawrence, and came down to the wire in the final game. They had a really good team. They beat us out, and it's always good to have a rivalry. And I mean, we played Central 4 times a year every year, but the COVID year. So, well, yeah, the COVID year, yeah. So. It was always fun playing against Jaden. He'll still joke around me and give me crap about him winning our senior year.
Yeah.
I'll never get to beat him again. So, but no, man, that those young guys, they from the day that we first had practice, I was like, man, we might be seventh in the region. Till the first game, I'm like, dude, we're about to surprise some people. Like,
Oh, yeah.
these guys are dogs, and you look at MJ Wardlow, who's going to one of the best JUCOs in the country, and then Mason Ritter signed Division I, and Deuce Bailey, he's committed to Missouri State, play quarterback. Traby Barber is going to be a Division I football player. He's got tons of offers. So that team was fully loaded with talent, and it was awesome seeing them and really getting to know them at a young age and seeing how they've grown up.
Oh yeah, and that's awesome, man, to see those guys, at a young age, and now what they're becoming, blossoming, and now
Yeah,
there was talent on that team, man, but maybe more experience. You never know. But you didn't talk about it, but that year, your senior season, you would win Kentucky Mr. Basketball.
yeah,
2022 Kentucky Mr. Basketball. A lot of people know last year it was Travis Berry, Reed, and then it was you, man. Three great players, and that wasn't an easy award to win. Maker Barr. There were so many other good players. Cade Stennett that you talked about a little bit. Brant Bauer. There was a lot of good candidates for that award.
yeah, man. Mitchell Riley, he was in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the list just goes on. 16 stacked players from all the regions, man. How did it feel to you? How was the moment? When you won that award?
Oh man, I mean, that there were a lot of people saying that I was a favorite, and I did not want to jinx myself. I just was playing it cool. I was just hoping that I would win, man. Like, because that's an award that like nobody can't take that away. Like
Yeah,
that is just hard work, and you know, we have the big Mr. Basketball ceremony, and you know, I was nervous all night. I was sweating. Made sure to wear a black shirt so
yeah.
they couldn't see my sweat. I was sweating. I was nervous. I had to go work out before it just to get some nerves off. Like I was nervous, man. I really wanted to win that. And then when they announced, your 2022 Mr. Basketball is from Bowling Green High School, Turner Buttry. My head was down. I was just like, please. I was praying, just like, please. And so, I was fortunate enough to win that award. But that couldn't have been done without my teammates my senior season. Those young guys, they, teams started off in the beginning of the year just keying in on me, trying to stop me, and by the middle of the season they couldn't do that anymore because my teammates had just improved so much, and that opened up more for me. So that was an awesome year. That is an award that'll be my favorite award individually that I've ever won. I'm sure by far, because this is a basketball crazy state, and to be named Mr. Basketball is very very good accomplishment for me. So
Oh yeah, and it's kind of at the very top. It's the award. It's the award every guy works for. Once they put in that work to get it. Be one of those guys who won it, man. You were the first guy to ever win it at Bowling Green since Josh Carrier, man. And Josh
yeah,
was one heck of an athlete. Played at UK. We
oh
just had
yeah.
about 2 weeks ago. How did that feel? You talk about winning the award, but to be the first guy from Bowling Green to win it in a while, that had to have some emotions too.
Oh, it was awesome, man. Because this city is they love basketball, and just to be able to win it, seemed like 4 years before that I came here, I knew nobody. Um, I didn't know my way around town. I didn't know anybody that I went to school with, and then just to see all the support that I had when I won the award was awesome. And just to win it at Bowling Green High School wearing the purple and gold was awesome, man. So yeah, it was just it was awesome winning it in such like a basketball crazy state. And our part of the state, I don't think gets enough respect. The western side of the state, it's very underrated, like especially in Bowling Green, Hoptown,
Yeah,
all those regions, even out to the first region.
yeah.
It's there's not enough respect for the western side of the state when it comes to basketball, and that's changed. You've seen Lyon County won it all last year. Warren Central won it the year before. Warren Central was runner up the year before that, and I think that our state is definitely putting on for the rest of the state. So
Oh yeah, man. And, guys like the Bowling Green team you were on, the Central teams, Travis and Lon, those guys have kind of pushed. All of you guys have kind of pushed a big shift on who's the focused on ones, and the third region's the most famous it's ever been. Fourth region will always compete. Second's coming in with a lot of pressure, after they have a state title team last year. So you know
Yeah.
shift, who they're focused on, and a lot of that's credit to guys like you and Central and teams like that, man. There's a clip that's been going around, man, about I think it was 26, 28 threes consecutive going in. And, Eastern, you guys have had some camps this summer working with guys, doing your things. So, how's
Yeah.
this been with EKU, man? Being able to do these camps, do these things, help kids out, things like that.
Oh yeah, it's been awesome. Like, see, these kids, they think that we're like LeBron James and
Yeah.
Kevin Durant. So you get a little weak to for kids to think that you're like the end all be all, and that's always pretty cool. But it's even cooler to be able to give back to those kids, and you see the smiles that they come in every day, and just being able to work with them and take them through drills and because it makes their day. Like coach tells us that all the time. He's like, they're so excited for y'all to come in. Like, make sure y'all have energy. Like that they really want to see y'all today, and stuff like that. So it's awesome being able to work with them, man. Like it really is.
I want to ask you this, Turner. We've asked so many questions, but I still got a few things. I like to do a game called Quick Picks. It's kind of like a 20 questions. People ask some questions quick, and you got to give me a quick answer. So I got a good amount of questions written, and I'll ask them, and you give me the quickest answer possible. Kind of talk about it. Let's start right here with the first one, man. I want to say, who is a pro that you match your game? Compare your game.
Ah, oh no.
That's a hard one.
I'll just go Curry because I can shoot real well.
Oh yeah, that's always a good answer. Who's the toughest guy you have ever had to play in the high school environment?
We talking about AAU or school?
Just do school ball on this one.
Um, I mean, I'll probably give it to Reed Shepard. Probably
Yeah.
played him in a summer game, and at the Collins event. So yeah, I'll definitely give it to Reed.
Oh yeah. Best defender you've ever had to play against. Who's gave you the most trouble with your game?
I wouldn't say a specific player,
Yeah.
but there is a player I just can't think of it right now. Uh, but I would say I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of it. Oh, okay. You know who Kean Works is?
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah, so he was little dude went to Pikeville High School. Now he goes to Pikeville and plays college
Yeah.
at Pikeville College. Dude, like my senior year, I had 13 points, which was the least I had all year. We
Yeah.
ended up winning by MJ Wardlow hit a crazy shot at the buzzer. We won, but he's just like a pest. Like couldn't get away from him. He's breathing on me the whole time. Like he just had me frustrated, man. Like that, yeah. And that's one time I can really say like, dang, man. Like I hated playing against that dude, and everybody does. Like no one likes playing against Kean Warwick. So
Those are some humbling moments, though having those games, Best coach DG memory.
uh, I'd probably say when we beat Greenwood my senior year, their coach like said something to him about me and was like, I don't understand how you deal with him. He's like a cuss word, and I just hear DG yelling like, and DG like he don't like conflict, like he
Yeah.
does not like conflict. And I just hear him yelling at him like, you could take your team into the locker room, like get out my face. Like I would say that's probably one of my favorite DG memories. But also there was like a bunch of rumors that saying I was leaving Bowling Green for my senior year because we weren't gonna be no good. And I guess somebody had told him. that rumor was going around. So he brought me in one day. It was like, you know, we they basically saying, if hey man, if you want to leave, you should tell me, and getting on me and stuff. I'm like, I'm not leaving, like, but he was just so mad. He's hard to make mad. So that was funny. It's something I look back on and laugh now. So
Oh yeah, a legendary coach, man. You talked about it. I asked the same question, but you said AAU was football. So who was the toughest guy you had to play against in AAU ball?
I would say in my high school days, I would probably say Scoot Henderson.
Yeah,
He is the point guard for the Blazers right now. Yeah, he was really good. We matched up, and then a little earlier than that was Imani Bates, and then back in middle school was Bryce Griggs. He was
yeah.
like the prodigy in middle school. So he was really good in middle school. So, but yeah, I would say in my AAU days, while as I got older, it was Scoot Henderson for sure. We almost beat them though, but they got us. So.
You've had so many great games, so many high scoring games. But what would you say is your best game you ever had in high school?
Um, I would probably say, uh, trying to think, maybe that Lyon County game. I had, I think 28. Um, well, I had 41 against Paducah Tillman, maybe that game, and then I had 41 against Saint X as well. So maybe that game, and the Saint X game was in front of my EKU coaching staff. So I would probably say that was my best game.
Oh yeah, and that's impressive to put it up, and with all that pressure on you. Let me ask you this, man. A young athlete walks up to you. He needs advice. He's getting into the varsity game. Maybe getting some looks at. What's a piece of advice you would give to a young athlete? Coming onto the game.
I would say listen to nobody. Like just like this dude in the comments, trying to get a reaction out of me. Like, don't listen to nobody like that. Like people, your whole life are gonna hate on you, tell you what you can't do. This is a world of people who want to tell you what you can't do. Like, believe in yourself. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Like nobody. Like they have no idea what you do behind the scenes. Like don't try to please people. Like don't listen to anybody. You can do anything that you want to do. Like that's what I would tell them because like my whole life, people have always told me what I can't do, and like I even put quotes on my mirror throughout my high school career of everything that people would say about me, and I would just look at it every day. Every time I looked in the mirror, I would see it, and it just drove me. Like, and I have no idea who those people are that were saying those things,
Yeah.
and I never will. But that's what drove me, and don't ever listen to those people because if you work hard and put your mind to it and really believe in yourself, you'll prove them wrong, and you'll never have to say nothing to them. That they'll know that they were wrong. So
Turner, it's going to be a big season for EKU and you, man. A lot of people's pumped for it. I'm excited for it. It's
yeah.
a big year for you. What can we expect out of you and the team, man?
Oh man, we got 9 new guys. So right now, we're just learning each other a lot. Um, and but I would say this that we have the most talent that I've played with in college this upcoming year. We are so talented. But then again, talent doesn't win games. So we have got to continue to learn each other. We have made so many jumps this summer. We've got a great summer. But I would expect if I were to talk to our fan base right now, I would tell them, we are going to keep this momentum from last year going. AW Hamilton is going to keep this momentum going from last year. Like we aren't going nowhere. We lost a lot from last year. We're going to keep this momentum going. We have a really good team. We still got the same coach. We got all that we need. So that's what I would say.
Turner, you had a phenomenal high school career. You're having a really successful college career, and there's so much still ahead of you, man. Thank you again for coming on here, man, and talking to me.
Of course.
We talked about it a little bit. There's a lot of shows, a lot of places where you can't really speak your mind. You can't be honest. I feel like I gave you a platform today to, talk about things that, some might not let you. So I had a really good time, man. We had a lot of people coming in here watching, and that's the big thing. But once again, I want to tell everybody also shop turnerbutchery.com. Buy you some merch, man. I ordered me a shirt 2 days ago, bro. So, that's a good way to support Turner and his high school, his college career. Keep up with Eastern Kentucky and what he's got to do, man. He said a lot of great things on here. Make sure to share this live. Get it out there as much as you can. This is watchable after. And Turner, I've said and got just about everything I can, man. Is there anything else that you want to add off before we get off here?
Nah, just thank you for having me on, and all glory to God. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's it.
I agree with you, man. 100%. God bless everyone watching this. That's what we all do it for. Uh, Turner, I want to say again, thank you for coming on, man. You're welcome back anytime. And I'll keep in contact with you. You got to keep me posted with college, how things are going, and
Oh,
I
for
look
sure,
forward-
for sure.
thank you for hopping on here, man.
Thank you, my man.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our live show with my guy Turner Buttry. We had a really fun time on there today, asking a lot of questions, talking about some things, talking about his high school career, talking about his college career so far, growing up, AAU. Man, there were so many topics and so many good answers and things to speak about. Turner shared one thing that my favorite thing is Turner shared so much life advice for younger athletes, younger kids, and that's something a lot of people need right now. Trust me. So I want to thank Turner once again for hopping on here. It's been big. Tomorrow we finally take a day off. We don't have a show. I'm sorry, but Saturday we'll be really busy. Like I said, we're going up to Asbury, doing some work up there, getting into business. So that's going to be really fun. Everybody follow Kentuckiana Hoops. That's KYIN Hoops across all social medias. We're doing a lot of work with them now. I'm so happy and blessed to be hired as a scout there. And the show is just now taking off, man. You might be worried with school coming up. Is this thing going to take a hindrance? And no, we're going to continue to work hard. We're going to be pushing out great content, pushing out great episodes. Turner was a confidence boost we needed, man. So I want to thank everyone for coming on here, tuning in today, showing appreciation, showing love. God bless each and every one of y'all, and tune in next episode. And we'll keep you posted with knowing who it is. So thank you for watching. Share this live, and God bless.